Welcome to another episode of I'm Not Yelling, I'm Dominican podcast, hosted by Nachi and Damaris.
Now, let's get into favorite drinks.
So, for me, I didn't have a specific drink. So this is what I did. For cocktail, I tend to go with mixed drinks that have a tart, sweet flavor to it. So if I'm ordering at a restaurant or anything like that, I gravitate to those type of drinks. But I don't have a specific favorite cocktail that I would like. But you go next.
You're gonna laugh at this. I just said favorite drinks, and you know what I put in there? Because I was like, this drink makes me feel good and powerful. I put celery juice. I'm like, you know what? Celery juice has kept my ass healthy for the last year and a half. I feel great.
Celery juice.
Yes. My doctor told me to drink it. I've been drinking it. And I'm like, you know what? This has been good for us. And I'm gonna put celery juice in there. I'm gonna put celery juice.
It has done you well. Celery juice it is.
Praise God. I'm healthy.
And here I am putting down alcoholic beverages because my next one is on hard liquor.
No. I mean, but then, you know, all jokes aside, I mean, I did really write that down, celery juice. But I put an old fashioned because that is a good drink that's just consistent. It's not out of control. Yeah. It has a level of sweetness, and it's just like,
it's good.
I like it. It's like, you know, it's like a classic.
Yeah, it is. The other thing I put down in terms of hard liquor, I tend to go for rum because I like, because it has a, you know,
a sweetness to it a little bit.
I like sweet stuff, so it has that sweetness to it. So my favorite is rum. So I like Bourbon Court and last year, I think it was Adam who introduced me to Brugal 1888, and I like that one.
Yes,
that one was really
Those
good.
two are really good.
So those are my two favorite.
The Bourbon Court, and I don't know if we shared with you the 15 year. The 15 year is a very good one, Bourbon Court 15 year. So they have the 8 year and the 15 chef's kiss. Like that's the kind of rum really you could just have on the rocks, similar to 1888. I like those two. Those are good rums.
But it's not Poussière as my bestie.
Yo, Liz was like, this is such a good rum. It's called Poussière.
Yes, it's smooth. Yeah. She was like, it's smooth. We're like, oh, okay.
We're like, how?
Try it.
Where? It was like pure ethyl alcohol. I was like, who ordered the rubbing alcohol?
You know who was the worst person?
Go on, actually. Yes.
Because we went to this rum bar, y'all. And we told him, we like, yes, he went and got us drinks. And he was like, what do you guys want? We're like, well, we want to try the Poussière, whatever.
Poussière, yeah.
Pronounced.
Yeah,
I said, we want that. We want to try it because Liz said that's smooth.
And she sent us a screenshot of it. So we sent it to Adam.
Yes.
Go to the bar. This is the one we want.
Okay, Adam comes back with our drink and this cup full of fruit. And we're like, oh, they gave you fruit? And he was like, yeah, because the bartender was saying that this is not a really great drink.
It's a bottom shelf liquor.
Yes,
it's used for
like,
mixed
they
drinks.
usually use that. Right. They use that to, make mixed drinks with because it's not good to just have alone. And when I said... this thing was horrible. Oh my goodness.
Terrible.
It's an understatement. We took a sip, we were like, what is this? And then we got on Adam because we were like, now if this man told you, asked you several times, are you sure you want this?
Are you sure?
Because it wasn't like he just served it to him and say, hey, here you go. He was like,
he was a good bartender.
Because, you know, this is not something you want to drink straight. You usually want to mix it. He said, no, that's what my wife and my sister-in-law said they wanted. And he brought that to us. He like, oh my goodness,
That nasty
we can't
shit.
stand you right now. He was like, it's not good.
Knowing
No,
full
it's
well.
not. And you right, and you knew this. Why didn't you get us something different? He was like, well, that's what y'all ask, and I didn't want to hear your mouth about why didn't I bring you a Pusair? But oh my god! And then we texted Liz and was like,
This is the best
why
part.
you told us? Why you told this shit is nasty? She want to tell us, oh, y'all just weak.
Wow.
We like, oh my goodness.
Or you just like bad liquor.
No, how about she only drank it with
Yeah, I think
when
she
she
drank
made
it
pina
mixed or
colada.
something. Right. And we're like, okay, so this isn't a good rum.
Right.
And you had no idea what it was like
Oh
straight,
my goodness.
as you implied. But okay.
I was dying.
Yeah, I
So it's
mean,
not that, y'all. Don't
yeah,
get
no.
that.
Do
We
not
don't
get that.
recommend it.
No. Like we said, Babencourt or Brugal 1880. Is it 1888 or 1880? I think it's 1880,
I
right?
think it's 1888.
Oh yeah. It's the one with a lot of eights.
Yes.
There's not many.
You can't miss it, y'all.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't miss
But
it.
it's a good one. It's a good one. And then lastly for me, under the favorite drinks was I could do with the top shelf tequila, a top shelf tequila neat or on the rocks. So like Don Julio 1942, I could drink that. I could sip it, right? So and that's if I want to get a buzz, but it has like a decent taste to it that I'm like, okay, I could drink it that way straight. Because the problem with me as I've gotten older is that if I get cocktails with too much sugar, then I feel I'll get a bad hangover the next day.
Right. Oh, okay.
So I
'Cause
like
the
to
sugar
minimize.
isn't doing well for your body.
No. My body rejects everything that people like
Sugar.
in life. Yeah.
Yes.
I'm like, people are like, oh, I love dessert. I'm like, I like fruit.
I know.
I'm like, I can't. And it's really, honestly, is the way my body metabolizes that stuff. I just don't feel good. So I don't eat stuff that doesn't make me feel good. And as I've gotten older, my body's like, oh, you think you cute, ho? Take off them Gucci. No. So I can't have like sugary drinks. I'll pay the price.
Yeah. My next one is actually a non-alcoholic drink, and that's homemade lemonade. And it takes me back when Poppy would make us lemonade. His lemonade was the very best.
Yes.
So and that's my favorite. Like again, I like tart, sweet drinks. So non-alcoholic, I would go for like a lemonade. Or a mixture of lemonade and another juice, but lemonade is my favorite non-alcoholic drink.
Oh, well, so then we both had non-alcoholic drinks. Celery juice and
Yes,
lemonade.
and not lemonade.
I love it. Oh my goodness. Sister, which topic do you want to get into next? Which category?
I guess we can do favorite movies.
This for me is in no particular order, but I'm gonna say Coming to America. Let me guess. I know you have that there. Is it on your list?
That's a good one. Yes.
I love Coming to America. I mean, that is a movie.
That is a movie
we grew up with. We grew up with, and I can watch it repeatedly. It is,
and it's
stupid,
funny every time.
And it's funny every time. When Money throws the milkshake at Eddie Murphy, he's like, yo, throw this out for me. I don't know why that just tickles me. He throws the milkshake at him, and he's drenched in now pink, strawberry milkshake. I'm just like, hey, why would you throw a filled cup of milkshake at someone and not hand it to them knowing that it's full? Like, you mad disrespectful. I like it. It's hilarious.
With his soul glow?
Yes, with his soul glow here. Like, that movie is iconic, is legendary. It has scenes that people repeat to this day. Sexual chocolate is a thing. Martin Luther the King is a thing. Like, if you've heard me say that before and you don't know why I said that, you ain't with it. You don't know. You're not in the know. That's it.
Right.
Watch that movie. You'll see what I mean.
Right.
Okay, thank you.
Right. Oh my goodness. I thought it was really funny. Another good one is Goodfellas. That's a movie that I can
Oh my
I can
God, that's my
watch a
next movie.
million
Come
times.
on,
Really.
Nachu.
Goodfellas.
Yes.
I could watch that. Yeah, when he's telling the lady,
I
go
am.
go around the corner,
He's
go
like,
get
no, the
yourself a
dresses, they're
dress.
just a couple doors down. Just right
Yeah,
there.
like, nah, I ain't going down there. You crazy.
He's like, just
Y'all
go.
trying to kill me.
He's like, just go inside. Yeah, right there. Listen, that movie
Whew.
is a classic
That's a
beyond
good one.
classic beyond like, I
Yes.
mean,
I
I
could
love
watch
some
it
Robert De Niro.
over and over again.
And
Yes.
R.I.P. to Ray Liotta.
Oh, yes. He was good in it.
He was good as an addict. He was good as, a new boyfriend, as a husband. Oh my goodness. That movie was just like layers upon layers, and
Yes.
it was great. It was great. I love Goodfellas. That is definitely one of my favorites.
Very good.
I kind of didn't have a top 5, but Anna reminded me, so I added this in there. Wolf of Wall Street, another Scorsese movie. And I think, I'm not going to lie, I do enjoy watching that movie. Every time I watch it, it's always fun. Leonardo DiCaprio is awesome in it. He's such an idiot. Like, he plays that guy, Jordan Belfort, like, wonderfully. And there's so many scenes from that movie. I mean, we used it in one of our memes that we created, right? He's like, I'm not going anywhere. I'm not leaving. I'm not leaving. I'm not fucking leaving. Like, it's just so outrageous. And it really showed the debauchery of the 80s. I think to the T, even though we were not adults, we were kids. But the 80s was a time. It was an era. It was,
Yeah.
It was survival of the fittest, especially in New York City, because this place was a jungle. It was out of control. But at the same time, it was like there was so much happening too, good and bad. And it was just, it was a time. And that movie kind of captured that part of the city, I thought, really well.
During that time, yeah. That was a good movie. Another good movie that I picked, and again, I chose these movies just based on the fact that, hey, would I watch this more than 2 times, right? And The Color Purple is another one. It's just something. Yes. It's the love story of sisters.
Yes,
sisterhood, right? It's like you have
Definitely.
someone that has gone through so much throughout her life, and her love for her sister does not die. And then you have another sister far across the world, and still she was just like, I'm not gonna give up on my sister. You know,
Right.
it's just like to me it's a love story of
Yes.
sisterhood. And I just love it. And it's a movie that, again, I would watch over and over again. Like, it's not something like, oh, I already watched this, I can't watch this again. The Color Purple is definitely a movie
All my
I would
life. Yes, no, that's
Girl, yes.
that's a good movie.
And they had a ton of great
No,
moments in
yes,
there.
yes. I mean, you'll get your black card revoked if you don't understand some of the scenes, or you don't know where certain things come from.
Yes,
But
yes.
another movie for me was The Shining. I love a scary movie, and I love a Stephen King scary movie. And The Shining, growing up, we watched the WPIX edited versions, right? And I thought that in itself, the movie was
scary.
creepy and just like, but like the right level of creepiness, right? And then as an adult, when I watched the unedited version, which I thought we had watched. I don't know why I thought WPIX, that channel would actually show the unedited version. But when I saw the unedited version, I guess probably in my 20s, I was like, holy shit, is that guy in the rabbit suit really giving head to this dude on a bed? I was like, what's happening? I said, what's good? I was like, when did that happen?
You're like, I don't even remember that scene.
Listen. I was like, oh, this movie is crazy. You know, I like that movie. That movie was good. The movie was good. It's very sinister, scary, and we love a scary
Yeah.
movie. We grew up with that.
Yeah.
You're gonna enjoy my
Which
next
is
one.
which is funny because I don't have it. I don't have any scary movies on my list.
What?
Shocking.
I know.
Shocking.
You mean you don't have
Because
Amityville Horror, the original?
I have 4 movies, and that 5th one I have empty. And I was actually last night I was thinking about it. I was just like, oh, because I was thinking on the fact that I didn't have any horror films, and that's my favorite genre,
Right.
which is kind of weird.
Very
And I
weird.
was like, but again, I was doing this based on movies that I would watch repeatedly,
Yeah,
right?
that's fair.
And so and so a lot of the horror movies is not anyone that I would be like, oh, I want to watch that again, you know? Or if I do watch it again, it's just like I'm not really paying attention because I'm
Right,
doing
because
something
you're
else.
like, you know what's happening.
However, Amityville Horror is one that I've watched repeatedly, and it's creepy to me. I hate it.
And the original one,
but I
guys,
still
not
watch.
the remakes. The
Yes,
original
yes,
one.
the original one.
Yes.
It just gave you that feel of, oh, this shit happened.
Right,
And
right.
I can't even imagine being in the house and all this shit is happening.
Hell to the no.
I was like, oh my goodness, that's a movie that I love to hate. Because I will watch it, I will punish myself and watch it again.
You really would. You're so crazy like that. Oh my goodness, you're so right. Oh, you do love to hate that movie. You're like, it's so scary, but I'll watch it again because I am certifiable.
Yes.
No, you're gonna love this one. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
My other favorite movie that I put down was The Sound of Music.
I was always gonna put that down, but I was like, I can't. But I'm glad you did.
It is one of my favorites. I love it. I used to watch it a lot growing up and even young adult because they used to play it around the holidays. Now they don't play it as much.
No,
they don't.
The last time we saw it, we looked it up. We like pulled it up on
Yeah.
I think the Amazon stick.
Yeah, but back then they used to just play it
all
on
the time.
regular. And I would get so excited every time it would come on because I just love that movie. Yeah, it's such a
It was great.
beautiful love
The
story.
music was
Yeah.
awesome, and just like the singing, you know.
Yes.
My favorite
so
things.
that-
I mean, like that song is just like yes.
Mhm. Dun, 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 dun.
I do love that's a great one. It's very nostalgic for us.
Yes.
It reminds me of Christmas time, being at home with mommy and papi and just watching that movie, and it was awesome.
Yeah.
It was a great movie. So my last movie is Creepshow, the first one. Again, another movie based off of a Stephen King book. Now,
Oh my
Creepshow, what y'all need to understand is that if you try to watch it now, you're going to be like, oh my God, the effects are so old. Yes, it was an 80s movie. Don't at me.
I mean, what do you expect?
Right, don't at me. But of that time, it was great. It was an anthology of short stories in this one movie. And one of my favorite ones, one of the stories in that movie, I mean, there were two, but one of them was the dad that came back from the grave wanting his birthday cake from his daughter. Now, I know y'all are familiar with, Ike Turner and what's the movie with Tina Turner?
What love got to do with it?
Yeah, what's love got to do with it? And Ike Turner's like, eat the cake, anime. This one, this dad comes from the grave, and he's like, where's my cake? Bedelia! I'm like, first of all, her name is Bedelia? That's wild, right? But she's like this a rich family. And of course the dad's on their estate because they have such vast estate that the cemetery is on their estate. Go figure. Yeah, you want your dad in your backyard. And they're celebrating, they're gathering for his birthday post-death. And he's like, he comes back from the dead and he's like, where's my cake? And I love that. He's banging on the table. He's like, Bedelia. I'm like, yeah.
Right.
It's great. I love it.
Yeah, that one was good. It was good.
It's a great movie.
Yes. My last one is gonna be unpopular, but I love it because it just takes me back to that time. Oh my goodness. Crooklyn. Spike Lee's
Oh
movie Crooklyn.
yes,
I love that movie. It is like, oh my goodness, it just takes you back during that time as a child.
yeah,
Um and the different games and just dealing with the different type of people in the neighborhood, like the
mm-hmm.
crackheads, the heroin
Yes,
addicts. Rather
yes,
for us
yes.
was the heroin addicts. It's like you knew who they were.
Hector,
um,
R.I.P.
yes.
to Hector on Cedric Avenue. Good Lord.
Okay, okay. But and those games like hot peas and butter. I swear, I don't think anyone outside of New York knew what
No,
that game was,
Nachi,
and I was
I
just
saw
like,
on a Twitter thread people were like talking about different games, and someone wrote like a few people were like, yeah, hot peas and butter, and I think it
yeah,
was like some not necessarily from New York, but yeah, they.
really, because I've brought that up to people, and they're like, "What game is that?" I was like, "You never play that?" And I just remember playing
Yeah, you
that with
get your
our
ass
cousins because
whooped.
we're like the yes.
What kind of game is that?
Don't go finding the belt, and if someone did, you better run, haul ass.
And there was no base. I'm like, I don't even understand. Like, where's the safe space in this game? And the fucked up part was that we were on the young end of
We
our
were
group
the
of cousins.
youngest, so our
So
older
like,
cousins, which were like 8 years
I'm like,
older than
y'all
us.
are gonna beat us and catch us. Like, they mad disrespectful. I'm gonna bring this up at the July 4th.
Yeah, they gotta act like they don't
Oh
remember. They
yeah,
gotta be
they're
like,
like
"We
amnesia.
never
Like, what are
did
you talking
that."
about?
Okay. But Crooklyn just takes me back.
Yeah.
It really does. It's just
Mm-hmm.
like the neighborhood. It's just like you, although you although it's not like a small New York is not like your small town. Your block was your small town. It's like
Yeah.
everyone knows each other. Everyone's familiar. You know
Your
people
block was the
and
village.
you, right, right. It definitely was. So it took me back.
Nice. No,
So
that's a
Crooklyn
good
is one of
one.
my favorite.
No, that's a good one. That's a good one. I mean,
Hmm.
Spike Lee is annoying as fuck, but yeah, that's a good one.
Yes, that's one of my favorites.
Okay. So let's get into favorite shows. I'll let you start,
Yeah,
sister.
this was another difficult one.
Really?
So yeah, because I don't know if I really have a favorite shows, but then there are shows that I could watch. I could watch a few times, or
Yeah.
they have so many different. I could watch repeats and stuff and still be engaged. So SVU, Law and Order,
Oh my goodness,
it's
you and
one of my
Natasha.
favorite. I
I
love
can't.
it. I love
And Fonzo
SVU.
too.
Yes. Oh my goodness. I love it. I'll watch that anytime.
Well,
I'll even watch
you
repeats.
love a true crime and murder type of thing.
Yes.
So that's up your alley.
Yeah, and most of my yeah, I think all of my shows here are criminally based. I don't know. It doesn't say
What
I'm
are
a
you
criminal,
preparing?
y'all.
What are you preparing
I
for?
don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I just well, in terms of true crime, I just like to know what people be thinking about. How they get to the point of wanting to kill somebody.
You're
Like,
like, how did
how
you
do you
get
get there?
here? How did you get
Yes.
here?
Like, how did that happen? Personally, is so I can see it. If I
That
ever
is true.
come
You're
across
like, I
it.
need to see the signs. You're like, I know what comes next.
Right, right. You better watch out.
Yeah,
Ooh, and also for me to warn people,
that
that
is
don't
true.
sound
I'm not
right.
mad.
You might want to look at
You sure you want to trust her?
hmm. But I love SVU. SVU is one of my favorite shows.
Okay, that's fair. I'll start with. I had quite a few, but this was a tough one. Similar to you, like, would I watch it repeatedly? What is it that I like about it? But I'll start with Sex in the City. I love that show. I could
Yeah,
rewatch that
that show
show.
was good. Yeah, me too.
And it's just like I love that show because it was in my early 20s when it came out, um, or like when I came right out of college, and it was just like, yeah, like the clothes, and you know how I love clothes. I'm like the fashion on that show with Carrie. I'm like, chef's kiss. Like, yes. I'm like, oh yes, girl, do it, yes. And it was just about these women that had doing their own things in New York City and just like living their best lives. And it's like, how could you not love that? And then they were talking
Yeah.
about sex and they were freely talking about it. Kind of reminded me more of your friends because your friends are
I know
so out of
that's why I
pocket.
love Sex
Like,
in the City because
yeah,
I'm like, this is like
you
my
had
friends.
your own
It's my little
Samantha.
group.
Yes,
Yes,
yes, and she knows
yes.
who she is. Um, no, it was great. Like I love that show, and so for me, it was just it captured New York at a great time, and
Yeah.
I love the fashion, and I could watch it again and still enjoy the fashion and not feel like it's
Mm-hmm.
out of place.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, that definitely was a good one. I didn't think about that one.
Hmm.
Damn, that was good. Okay, again, I went with these criminally based shows.
And that's okay, sister, because that's what you like. Because you're gonna see
Yeah.
you're gonna see where I'm going with my shows. So
Yeah. I already know. so,
you're the number one. I'm gonna save to the end.
so my next one is Snowfall.
Oh yeah, I didn't see
That
that
was,
show,
I
but I
think,
always heard good things about it.
it is really good because it one it's set in the I want to say late 70s, early 80s, like in that time, and and just how fucked up, with how the CIA is the culprit of the drugs and the guns and all of that's in
What?
the in
Not
our
the
community.
government.
So, yes.
The United States of
Yes.
America?
Yes, the very one, the
I
very
trust them
one.
so much.
But I think they did a beautiful job of how one can get involved and blow up and then
Hmm.
quickly fall from from grace.
Right.
So yeah, that I'm sad that that series ended, but it was great. I feel like going back and watching it
Oh,
again.
okay. I would add the Chappelle Show. It was two
Oh
seasons, but it was two
yes, that
seasons
was
of
a
greatness.
yes. Remember when we went to the Chappelle show?
Yes. And I don't know why I kept
Oh,
getting these free
so
tickets. I
good.
went with you. I took
Mhm.
Natasha. I took an ex boyfriend. Like, I was constantly going to that show. I don't know how I got those free tickets, but it was, that show was creative genius of
It
Dave
was. Oh my
Chappelle.
goodness.
And
I
I
think
enjoy him as a comic. I love him.
yes. His show in Living Color was another good
Hmm.
show
Yeah, yeah.
that I think they did a really great job with it.
Hmm.
It's just like always kept you coming back wanting to watch the show and the skits
Right.
that they had. I yeah, I think that and Chappelle show is really good. God, damn, I can't believe he was only 2 seasons though.
I know. Yeah, yeah.
He did so many
No, it
great
was
skits
it.
in
You
there.
know, it, classics that came out of that.
And it was like a laughter, like
No, that hurts your
that you
stomach.
could, yes, like I would cry, like literally cry
Yes.
of how funny, like I can't, that my chest is hurting because
Hmm.
I'm laughing so much. It his skits are fucking hilarious.
Yeah. No, they were so out of pocket. It was just ridiculous. It was great.
If you need to pick me up,
That is a
y'all
show to
need to
watch.
watch. Yes,
Yeah.
yes. That is
If you just want
definitely
to
the show to
laugh,
watch.
hold your side,
Yes.
yes, watch that show.
Yes. Get your head, yes, just want to
It
have a
was just out of control.
good laugh. That is definitely the show to watch.
Yes. Yes.
Oh, I love that show. Oh
Yeah,
my
no.
gosh.
Um, my next one would be this. I mean, I had quite a few. I'm just gonna throw it out there. I don't care.
Mm-hmm.
It's the Twilight Zone. That's it. Like
Yeah, that
the
one.
original.
Yeah.
I love watching the
Mm-hmm.
marathon over,
Yeah.
New Year's New Year's Day, New Year's Eve into New Year's Day. Love it. I love a
Yes.
sci-fi, twisty horror kind of genre. Like
Mm-hmm.
that's my thing. That's my jam.
You definitely like sci-fi movies and
I
shows.
do. I do.
Oh my god, what was that show? The Prisoner.
Nachi, that's my number one show. Come on.
Oh.
You got me. Like she knows me. Yeah. No. We're gonna wait. Wait.
Yeah. Okay.
The other shows in between, I'll just quickly go through it's Insecure, Game of Thrones. First of all, Insecure, I'll say this. I love that
Insecure was
show
really good.
because it was like for me the first Black show that was just kind of unapologetically Black in the sense that they didn't go into providing context on certain things because they just didn't. That wasn't their job to do. Similar into how we grew up watching these mainstream shows that showed, white culture. And we didn't know, we didn't have the context of some of the things that they did because that's not some things that we did in our culture. But we had to learn, right? By watching. We just had to figure it out. And Insecure approached that for Black people. It was just like there were things that they would say, and I'm like, I wonder if white people got that. But I knew. I'm like, but I knew what they.
Right.
I mean, and I'm sure plenty of white people got it, obviously because it was successful. You can't be successful with just Black folks, but. I love that about that show because it didn't try to explain everything because it would have then just even felt disingenuous because we don't go around explaining things to each other, right?
Right.
As a people.
Absolutely.
So I thought the execution of that was great. So that's why it's up there as a favorite show. Game of Thrones, I read the books. So for me, the shows were great up until the end where they fumbled the bag anyway. But I still love the show throughout. It was pretty good.
All in all.
Yes.
Yeah, you guys got me hooked on that one during our Christmas vacation.
Yes.
And what's crazy is that Adam want to get mad at me because I want to keep watching the show that he
saw like
watched.
4 times at that point. Like, Nachi, ignore him. That's what I was like.
He's like, why? He's like, why you kept watching the episodes and didn't let us know?
He's
because
absurd.
we already saw.
He's absurd.
Oh my god,
he's ludicrous. Like, no, I was just like, I don't know what you're talking about.
Terrible.
I'm not co-signing any of this. You're weird,
He's
honey.
like, it's not right. I'm like,
yeah,
it is right because I didn't see it. You
Hello.
saw the show. Let me watch it. I don't need to wait on you.
I know.
That was a good show.
It was.
Well, like I said, my other shows, they're all criminal based. Criminal Minds is another one. The Power and Power all the I think 3 of his books because he has like 3 different series. The only one I didn't like was the one with Tommy. That one I haven't gotten into too much.
I never even finished the first Power. I mean, not that it was bad. I don't know. I think maybe I didn't have stars or something. So I was like, I didn't really try hard enough. But I think it's available like on Hulu or something. Maybe I'll get into it.
I think so. Yeah, I think so.
And then The Lost show that was on ABC.
I never.
You hated that show, but again, I love a sci-fi show, and that show was just
this
weird.
Is stupid.
Yes, it was weird. It was crazy. I loved it. It was like about time travel and all kinds of things. It was just like it was bizarro, and I loved it. I ate it up.
And you loved it. That was
I ate it up.
Oh god, I thought it was so stupid. I was like, what are you watching?
I hated how it ended. I think, but at some point they just had to end it. Because they just kept raising too many questions and not answering them. And it was just getting frustrating. Yeah, no, it's like, this is ridiculous. Yeah, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
Oh, my goodness.
And then Succession is the second to best show for me. Succession on HBO, oh, my goodness. Like, that show
I have not watched that yet.
Yes, that show was crazy. It's also fun to watch these billionaires live their lives. And you're like, wow, okay, this is, so you don't ever drive to Long Island. You just take the helicopter always because you avoid traffic. I'm like, oh, you don't live in traffic like us regular folks. Okay.
He's like,
okay, no. They're like, and they would literally go to the Hamptons for a day and come back to the city. And they would do that via helicopter. I'm like, That's the way to do it. Okay, got it.
Nice.
Yeah,
I need to
yeah.
find me a rich man.
Yeah, no, I loved it. The show was great, and the writing was awesome. Yeah, it was chef's kiss for that one. And then I'll just end with my all-time favorite show that I discovered on like randomly on a Sunday night. I think it was on PBS. It's called
Yes.
The Prisoner. It is
I was like, Damaris, what is this?
and
This
not
is
to be
mad dumb.
yes, not to be confused with what is it? That show that was on Fox,
Yeah.
Prison
No,
Guard
not
or
that
something.
one, guys.
No, it's called The Prisoner. It is a British 1960s show, and it's basically about a guy who was in the equivalent of, I don't know, the UK CIA. He leaves, and they're like, nah, bruh, you don't just leave the CIA, the UK CIA. And he gets kidnapped and wakes up the next day on this island that he can't ever leave. So literally every episode is about him trying to escape.
And y'all, when I tell you Damaris will watch this faithfully, I would just look at her.
I love that show.
And say, what are we watching here?
No. And every time when he would try to escape, like this white balloon from the ocean would come up and chase him down. And when I fell out, when I knew I was seeing was when The Simpsons recreated that on an episode. I was like, I know what the fuck you're talking about. I know. I was like, The Prisoner. I loved it. That show was great. Like, and everyone's known by a number. They don't go by names. They're like number 2, number 1. He was number 6. I got Adam into the show, and he liked it. I'm like, this is why we're married.
Of course. He
enjoyed that show. He enjoyed that show. Oh my God.
I hated it.
I sing that show's praises. You hated it because you don't have the vision. You don't have the. I don't know. Okay. You don't see what I see.
No, and that's okay. I don't need to see what
we'll agree to disagree.
There we go. We'll leave it at that.
Chef's Kiss. That show. Watch it. Look it up. Find it. Classic.
Don't bother y'all.
Okay. Wow. Oh my goodness. We're getting towards the end. I figured, I threw in these questions at the end because I thought it would be fun to kind of hear about, like, if you could have lunch with anyone, who would that be? If you could have dinner with anyone, who would that be? And if you could party with anyone, who would that be? I'm curious to see what you said about these things and why. But if you could have lunch with anyone, Nachi, who would it be?
I would have lunch with Oprah.
Okay.
And yeah, I would have lunch with her because the fact that she built her empire basically from the floor up, and she has her own damn network. It is
it's
bomb.
a thing. Yeah.
It is.
Whether you like her or not, like, you got to respect the game.
Right, exactly. And actually, through her show, her daytime show, is where I found a lot of these self-help books I used to read back then.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, oh yeah, so who's this person? Let me get into this. Because that's, when she was going through her own journey, and she has always shared her challenges and how she had to go through a lot of them, and realize that she had to love herself and learn that because it wasn't something that she knew how to do, and she turned that around. So definitely admire her for a lot of different reasons. So Oprah would be one that I would have lunch with.
No, that's a good one. You're going to laugh at this one. I would have lunch with Derek Grace III. Now, he is an IG influencer. And the reason why...
Oh, my goodness.
I respect dude because... Now, he's a black dude. And when I say he's got tats, I mean, he's got tats all over his face, body, whatever.
Mhm. Mhm.
But what I appreciate about him is that he is a man about his family. He's a man, he's an entrepreneur, and
Yes.
he's about taking care of his family and teaching them to continue to grow the wealth and pass it down generations. And he does that by how he's building his portfolio of things, and that includes real estate, online ventures, all kinds of things. And he does it so that his children can learn from him. And they are, and while I don't really align with his personal life choices, I respect though the fact that he takes care of all of his children
Mhm.
and
That's true.
their mothers. Like he understands the importance of that, and also of raising his kids to not be indoctrinated by the school system and relying on any government system. Like he is self-sufficient for all
Mhm.
intents and purposes, and I respect that so much because I'm not really big on authority, especially the government. Just kidding. CIA. Just kidding. I love the USA. I do. But so and he's also the type of black person that the mainstream media would never highlight because he is a huge supporter of the Second Amendment, right? And so he
Mhm.
exercises his right to bear arms legally and safely, and not only does it for himself but for his family. Like his children are trained as well to
Mhm.
have respect for firearms and have and and handle it safely, obviously under his guidance. And so again, I respect that because when we get our land, right, we're going to have to protect ourselves too. So,
Right. Right.
there is I just respect that about him. And so yeah, I would have lunch with him because he's hilarious. He's funny. He's
He
crazy. I mean, again,
is.
like, you know,
He is. And his attitude has always been like, I'm not here to live up to your expectations. I
exactly. And
have my own standards that I live by, and that's the only one that's important,
that's
nothing
it.
else. So I'm not worried about it.
And
Mhm.
that's what I respect about him is that he is always authentic and true to himself, and he moves with integrity. Now, whether you agree with his lifestyle, that's your decision. But I'm not here to judge. And I frankly don't care about how he lives his personal life or that he legally and
Mhm.
safely handles firearms because
Mhm.
he has the right
Mhm.
to do so.
Right,
and
right.
they would never want to show black people doing that also, right?
Oh,
So
no.
so that in
Mhm.
itself is a setup, and they would never reflect that part of society that actually can do that. So
Mhm.
yeah, no, I would have lunch with him. I know if people
I
look him up, they're
love
gonna be like,
it.
really, Damaris? Okay.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, really. If you want to get to
So,
know me,
but with
right?
your yes, yes. Well, it's funny because in terms of influencers, I actually put down for dinner, uh, um, the Hood Healer, Imani
Ah, that's
Cohen.
a good one. Yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Because I've been following her for a long time.
Yeah, you have. So
When
you've seen
she
her
was,
come up.
yeah, her evolution, yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And it's funny because she's the type of person, another one I would say that lives up to her own standards
Yep.
and speaks freely, without any concern of
Yeah.
backlash or
And that's a
um
brave thing to do.
that is and still stand 10 toes down when
Yep.
people come at her.
Hmm.
And I
People
would
get
love to
triggered by
talk
her.
with.
Yeah.
Yeah, they do.
But
They do
I
because they
also feel
feel
like
like
people,
she's cat. Because I feel like they think that she doesn't think before she speaks, and
right.
she actually does. It's like,
You just don't like
hey,
her
you
delivery.
need right. You don't like her delivery, and also she questions things, and I think people
Hmm.
are afraid to question
Yeah.
what they've always known to be reality, right? And I think that's the problem.
So when you're about to burst their bubble, they have a hard time reconciling that.
They get triggered and they come on attack versus kind of question like, why do you think that way?
Hmm.
Or
Right.
what, you know, why do you feel that that's the situation, versus what this is, and have an actual dialogue, because she always is open for dialogue, right?
No,
Which I find very
yes.
interesting. It's just like, listen, if you against what I'm saying, I want to talk. Let's talk. Let's have a dialogue, because I
Yeah.
want to understand your side as much as you should understand where I'm coming
But
from.
people love to be
And
triggered by her. They love to be triggered by her. And I'm
they
just like,
too,
why do
they
you
too.
allow yourself to get triggered by someone you don't even know? Instead, to the point that you just raised, why don't you just ask yourself the question of like, well, if I'm being triggered, why am I being triggered by what she said?
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
And then join
Exactly.
her town hall. Because the thing is, she'll start a conversation on Twitter, because I follow her on Twitter and IG. But she'll start a conversation on Twitter. People on Twitter go crazy. They go ape shit. They're like, oh my God, what did you say about pregnant ladies? Or what did you say about postpartum depression? They go ape shit. And she'll say, meet me on IG. I'm going live. Why?
Right.
Because
Right.
you have, before you could buy your blue check on Twitter, you had 240 characters to write something. She's not here to write down the story of why she thinks XYZ. She's saying,
Right.
let's have a
Right.
discussion on IG where I can actually expand and provide more context. And she does, but people never want to hear that. So people, the
Yeah.
ones that
Yeah.
like to just stay triggered, they'll be like, oh my God, but did you see that tweet that she said? Yeah, but did you listen to her explain? Oh no, you
Right.
didn't. 'Cause you
Right.
didn't want
Then
to.
you would understand.
You didn't
Right.
want
You
to.
then
And also
understand
you're
where she's
triggered
coming from.
because she's talking about you and you hit dogs will holler.
Okay.
I mean, because she says a lot of things. I mean, she been told people in New York to leave. And I'm like, I'm still here. God help me. I don't know what's going to happen in the city. I'm still here. But I'm still here. But I love
She's
her.
telling us to leave, and I don't know what to do.
Yeah. No, but that's
What's she talking about?
Seriously.
What should I be looking for?
I'm like, I can't.
What's
I can't.
happening?
I can't with Imani. I'm like,
Tell
okay,
me,
not
tell me.
today. But no, that's
She's like, I'm not
that's a
here
good
to tell
choice.
you everything.
No, really, that's a good choice for dinner. Okay, so my choice for dinner would be Keanu Reeves.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, he is my hall pass. I mean, stop. No, so Keanu. Here's the thing about Keanu, right? I've seen how he does the training outside of his John Wick movies, and I'm like, he knows how to handle all sorts of weapons, and I'm a weapon.
I know that's right.
I was like, okay, Keanu. And then also, he's just so grounded spiritually. Like, I love that about him. He is not about that life. As far as I can tell, he's never out in the spotlight. And when he is, he's with his woman, and I'm like, so I know he wouldn't even be like, girl, he wouldn't even try to go with me. Because he's so, like, he's just like a good dude. Like, he just, and he's spiritually grounded, which I love. Like, he's just a nice person. And if he isn't, no one's come out to say otherwise. Like, that man has just been chilled, laid back, and honestly, he is the type of person that he's like, what comes to him will come to him, and what's meant for him is meant for him. And so, yeah, I would enjoy a nice dinner with him.
Nice, have a nice steak dinner with him.
Yes, with his fine ass. Oh my goodness, this next one, who would you party with?
This one was hard because today I don't want to party with anybody.
I know.
I like party. No, I don't want to go. However, if you caught me when I was in high school, early 20s, I would say Diddy. Diddy, what's up?
Oh, yeah, no, now he's so crazy. But yeah, back then, yeah. I mean, he might get you at a basketball party in the Stampede, but he kind of did.
I know. My asshole got killed, y'all. trying to go to a party.
Party hosted by him. Okay. Organized by him. Yes. But that's funny. Similar to you, like, yeah, I'm not going out these days, so I have no one right now. But probably like 10 years ago, I would have said Ray J. Ray J is a dude that is just mad funny. He is. I love his humor. I love a funny dude. I love his humor. No, I would never date him. It's not even like that. It's just like as a friend to hang out with. Oh my God. I love his humor. It's sophomoric. He's just so ridiculous. And he does not take himself seriously. Like, he does not. Like, I know you've seen that video of him. Like, I think he was selling glasses or something, or like And he's like, these glasses are unbreakable. And the guy who he was talking to was like, no, they're not. This is impossible. He's like, they're unbreakable. He's like, go ahead, break them. And this dude's like, I'm not going to break them. He's like, go ahead, break them. The dude takes the glasses, snaps them in half. Ray J says, I don't care. I was like, yo, you're wild, dude. Like, he's like, I don't care. You just said they were unbreakable. Now you're like, I don't care. But I know, like, at a club or something, he would be straight fun.
He'll be fun.
Like, going to a party, or he would be fun. And I would hang out with him. I would hang out with him, hands down.
Yeah, that's a good one. He does seem like a fun one.
Kooky, but yeah.
Yes. Oh my gosh.
But this was good. I'm glad we did this. Oh my goodness. First of all, I want to thank us for believing in us, for doing something we have no experience doing and taking the chance on working on this podcast and focusing on our last episode, doing a full season. We did it, Nachi. You know, we should be very proud of ourselves, and I am proud of both of us. So, thanking us. And then, of course, thanking you all for being along for the ride and all the good feedback along the way, the encouragement. We appreciate all those that have listened to the show and listening to us all season. And, we just want to close out with what we always close out with, that there's a lot of noise out there, but our message is consistent. Stop getting distracted by the smoke and mirrors, tune out the noise, and focus on your purpose in life. Focus on what brings you joy in life. We're meant to be joyful, so live that truth and be the best that you can be in this lifetime, right? You only have one opportunity, so just fucking do it. And thank you. Until next season.
Yes.
Bye.
See you next time.
So, that said, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and follow us on Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter at I'm Not Yelling _